I've been in situations where I'm like, yo, let's work, let's do something. And they're like, I don't know if I can work with a female. And, sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't know if you're comfortable, but can we just do something? I have a studio, or I could come to you. And they're like, okay, well, let's see. So I want to say thank you to everyone that actually said, okay, let's see, because you guys ended up loving it.
What's up, y'all? It's Ngazi, and I'm back with another episode of AFRO Archives Podcast, where we tell the stories behind pivotal and fan favorite moments in African music history. Today's guest is Saszy Afroshii, who's a producer and artist whose collaborations include the likes of Wizkid, Tiwa Savage, Qing Madi, Fave, and more. We spoke about her overcoming the challenges of being a female producer in the industry, joining Tems for the Leading Vibe initiative, and her new era of becoming an artist. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And now let's get into today's video. I appreciate you for joining me for AFRO Archives Podcast and being open to speaking with me today.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a very busy week, and apologies.
It's okay. I understand it's December, so that's all I'm saying. I even appreciate you even taking the time. So I'm excited for this chat today. I want to talk more about like your music influences, getting into production at first. So I know you became a producer in 2017. Who were some artists that you listened to that influenced how you make music today?
Funny enough, I started as an artist and just writing songs before I ever, started making beats or thinking of jumping into producing. But watching people like SARS, Killer Tones, having them as friends as well, also inspired my journey. So yeah.
You said that you first started as an artist. So actually, I want to go back to that. So how was that journey? Because since people have mainly known you as a producer, how did that journey start of wanting to be an artist?
I just wanted to make music for myself, to be honest. I just started making beats and writing to instrumentals I would make. But then people would listen to it and they're like, yo, this is really, really dope. And yeah, that was just how it happened.
And then I know around 3 years ago, you started really getting into production and you were signed to Aristokrat 360. So can you take me back to that time of that signing and what it taught you as an upcoming producer at the time?
We actually just met. They found interest in my music as an artist. But at that time, I was focusing so much on producing, so on working with other artists. So we just had like a management deal. So it wasn't necessarily like a label deal. So they were really good, and working with them was really amazing. They actually inspired me, and pushed me to be better. So yeah.
I love that. And yeah, you've continued to progress and just continue elevating. So I love how that was kind of a foundation in a sense and then building up from there. And I know within your career, you've worked with some of the biggest artists like Wizkid and Tiwa Savage. But with the ups, you've previously been transparent about, there also being downs. So can you share a few of your experiences on both ends?
It's very interesting. Let me see. What experience can I share? I've had a lot of ups, and I don't know if I would say the downs as, you know, I try to always focus on the positive, to be honest. And I think one of the major things would just be, as a female, people, then you have to work harder than your male, and be in a position where people have, like, before they even listen to you and anything, they have doubts already. So it feels like you have to prove yourself. I've had weeks, nights, no sleep, keep pushing, and I've also been able to be blessed enough to see that every effort I've put in, I've actually like made me into someone that I'm happy to be. And I've transitioned, and it's just making me realize that consistency actually does do so much for you. So yeah, being able to wake up and being able to get calls from like artists, being able to be in a room with Tiwa Savage, um, being able to speak to Wizkid, being able to meet different, talented artists, Fave, Run Town, so many people, and they all believe in you and they inspire you. So yeah, all those things just make me not to like, focus or even see that there's even like the lows. So when the lows come, they just leave so quick because I'm inspired all the time. So
Yeah,
yeah.
like you're hyper focused on your mission and just continue going as you were saying. And I know in the 72 Hours in Lagos short film, you talked about, people walking into the recording sessions and be like, who's the producer? And you touched on that about being like a woman producer and the barriers that come with that. And you also mentioned in the short film about having to go the extra mile due to the lack of opportunities. So is there a moment that comes to mind that you can share of having to do that?
I've been in sessions where they're like, oh, okay. Can we get someone, like, is it just gonna be you? Like,
Oh, wow.
can we get someone else? It's just gonna be you. This is even
Mm,
before I like open my laptop, before I even like, start making the music or stuff like that. They just be like, uh, okay, let's see what you have to offer. I've been in situations where I'm like, yo, let's work, let's do something. And they're like, I don't know if I can work with a female. And, sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't know if you're comfortable, but can we just do something? I have a studio or I could come to you. And they're like, okay,
mm.
well, let's see. So I want to say thank you to everyone that actually said, okay, let's see, because you guys ended up loving it. Yes.
No, but that's interesting though, because I typically, if someone were to experience that, their reaction wouldn't be like that, like, oh, let's, just give me a chance, let's see, let's work together. Typically they would be like, okay, if you don't want to work with me because I'm a woman, fine. So it's powerful that you were able to push through that because, well, I guess that comes from that determination and that perseverance, but I'm sure that's still a terrible feeling, right? If someone is just pushing you to the
Yeah.
side because you're a woman.
Yeah,
So,
it is. It is. I mean, there are so many factors, so many things, but first of all, we're actually in a society where this happens in every field.
mm,
You know, it's not necessarily just it happens to almost every female. We all experience it in the office and hospital, doctors. I'm pretty sure sometimes, oh, aren't you a nurse? Are you actually a doctor? Or,
mhm,
just, I feel like it happens so many, even as female artists, you might have like shows, 10 male artists, just one female,
mhm,
it happens all the time. So I think I just understood that there might be a time where stuff like that might happen. So Sassy, how are you just going to, tackle this?
mhm,
So I just made the decision to just know that, okay, yes, this would happen. But am I just gonna just dwell in it and just say like, I mean, it's normal for people to not believe in you,
mm.
but it sucks, because they end up realizing that, oh yeah, I missed out. I should have. So yeah, I just try to be positive.
Yeah, that's definitely a positive mentality that you have, and it shows that it's worked in your favor because there's talent, but then there's also that determination that you have on your own end to push you through, and also your personality, just how you go about things. So it clearly shows you've been having that positive mentality. So now I want to do a segment where you kind of like take me back and walk me through the sessions behind some of the songs that you've produced and how they each came about. So to start, I want to talk about "You Believe in Love" by King Madi featuring Kiss Daniel, and that's my one of my favorite songs by King Madi. So can you talk to me about that one?
Yeah. So basically, I actually met Maddie like 3 years before we had that session, before we made that music, and I always knew she had something very special, So, but I guess the timing just didn't like work in particular. But at that time, she was working on music, and we were like, okay, let's just get into the studio, and we just made it happen.
Yeah.
It was very easy. It was cool, like.
Yeah, so you would say that she's an artist where she's very hands-on and it makes things just flow easy, right?
Yeah, she's actually very, very like she's a very good songwriter. The melodies is on point. She knows what she wants, you know. And yeah, she has great chemistry with producers. She's not like difficult to work with or, you know. Yes.
Yeah, she's an amazing artist for sure, and I can't believe she's so young and she started so young, but amazing. And then another amazing artist is Fave, and I want to talk about you producing Controller. How was that?
Ah, that was something. So I hit up I hit Fave up and I was like, yo girl, what you on? What kind of vibe? What energy are you on? And she sent me a song. She told me about the song. And I I love the energy of the song and I just wanted to feel what I felt when I listened to that song, you know, and that was just how it happened. I made an idea and I sent it to her. Phoebe is very quick, so straight to point, you know, she did everything and we just met up in the studio and yeah, we made the music.
Okay, I
Yes.
love that.
Mhm.
And then the last song I want to talk about is Shayo by Caesar Millie and Wizkid. How did that come about?
Yeah, I mean. So I had a session. I was at an apartment. I think he invited me to come for a session because Amiri is someone that actually believed in me.
Mm.
So he always like put me on stuffs like that, you know. So I've been working with him for a bit, and I played him that instrumental. He loved it, and yeah, that was just he just told me, "Yo, Wizkid want to see you" and stuffs like that, you know. So that was just how it happened.
Okay, so all these opportunities, it just sound like they were very organic and very, quick.
Yeah, yeah, because I feel like yeah, I mean, if everything just flows, is energy, I guess.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's music. That's how it should be.
hmm
And then, so earlier this year, you were a part of Thames's Leading Vibe initiative. So how did that come about?
Well, working with Leading Vibe has been really cool and amazing. I'm a huge fan of Tems, and yeah, she loves to support female, and we met in the past, and we've been in communication, and we've been working, and so yeah, she just this is about empowering women. This is what we are focusing on, and we are like, so come on board.
Yeah. And how was it filming that short film? Was that your first time of having someone film you in that way, like that, closely?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't know. I think so.
Okay. Yeah, so we've talked about your journey as a producer, and now I want to get into talking about your new era as well. I guess it's not really a new era as an artist because you wanted to be an artist from the beginning, but now this is your full entry into becoming an artist. So you dropped your first single, Ready or Not, featuring Rhea Sean in November. What made you take that now official jump into expanding your artistry?
I feel like I just want people to hear me. Like I don't just want to hide behind because I believe I communicate a lot with my sound. If you listen to my works, you would tell that okay, there's something here. I love to let whatever I'm working on, you have to feel something.
Mhm.
So I just believe that yeah, I have so much to offer.
So for that single, was that always going to be your first single, or were there other options that you were debating about of making your first single?
Hmm. Well, I've been making music. We've been cooking, you know, but I feel like that's is just something different, and I love to always be different, and I love to always try new things, and yeah, that's just the headspace that I am just in at the moment. So yeah.
Okay. And it's a fun record for sure. And so, although you've been in the industry for almost like a decade now, is there like a learning curve for you with making that transition? Like, has there been any learning curves that you weren't aware of initially of being an artist? Like, what comes with it?
Well, a lot of hard work. You have to put yourself out there. I think it's just me trying to figure out what kind of artist I want to be. Like, who do I want to be, and how do I want to be perceived, and what story do I want to tell? I think it has helped me ask myself so many questions and try to figure myself like closely, So yeah, that's, and then also realizing that, man, it's so amazing to hear people and see people love your music and say you made this, and it feels like a baby. So yeah, it feels really good.
Yeah, and Ready or Not is definitely a fun record. I really like it. And so I'm curious, are you planning on dropping an EP next year, or are you just gonna let things flow and just, wait things out?
Well, I'm going to let things flow
Okay.
to something really amazing. I don't want to say so much. I don't want to say too
Okay.
much.
No, that's understandable. Okay, and then lastly
Something
for
is
you.
coming.
Oh, sorry, what did you say? You said it's coming?
Yeah, something is coming. So
Something something is coming. Okay. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. And then so lastly for you, who are some of your favorite female producers and who are some African women artists that you would love to work with in the near future?
Hmm. Let's see. I respect every female producer, every producer that's like every girl that can open up her laptop and say, I want to use FL Studio. I want to use Logic. I want to use Studio One. I want like any female that says, yo, I want to make these beats. I'm trying to figure this thing out. Like I respect every single one of them. I'm a huge fan of every single one of them. Like every one of them. Because I know it's not easy, and it's not something that you can just say, oh, okay, it's just like you have to put in the work.
Mhm.
And I think I'm open to working with, at the time I wasn't really so because they always have this notion of females cannot like collaborate, we can't come together, we can't really work, but I really thought that was gonna be the case. But for me, it has been amazing, and yeah, I enjoy working with every female artist. Yeah,
Okay.
right.
But are there any in particular that have been like on your bucket list of who you would want to work with or no, you kind of just go with the vibe?
uh well, I think I would love to work with Georgia Smith.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love to work with Doja Cat. um
So the pop girls. Okay, I can see
yeah.
that though. That could be fun. I feel like that those collaborations could definitely be fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Zazie, for joining me on Afro Archives podcast. It's been great learning about your journey and about your experiences within the music industry. I really appreciate you for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.